Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about a surgery that I just had November 8th, 2021. And what I had is a conversion about 22, 23, 24 years ago. I had a vertical banded gastroplasty, which is also called VBG for short. And I had it revised into a gastric bypass. So I kind of wanted to talk about my situation, my journey, how things are going, because I haven't seen very many videos of actual people that have had this surgery who were previously VBG patients. So VBG, vertical banded gastroplasty, is they have the band, and they staple part of the stomach off. So you have a smaller pouch, and then you have a band. Now, I don't know if VBG is the same as what they call the lap band. I'm not sure. You can Google that, do whatever you want to do to find out information. I'm not sure if it's the same. So anyways, I just wanted to tell my story, issues that I had with the VBG, why I decided to do the bypass, and just kind of give you some information. And maybe there are people out there that are VBG patients and maybe are having the same issues as me, and maybe they would like to possibly get it modified and switched over to a gastric bypass. I had my VBG done in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and everything was good. I had a great experience. Back then, what they did is they actually cut you open. It was not done laparoscopically the way that they do a lot of these today. Hold on. So, sorry about that. Need some water. Water, you got to drink water. You got to drink 64 ounces. I don't think a lot of us get that water in. So, anyways. And the experience was good. I had to stay, back then, you stayed in the hospital about 4 or 5 days. Because back then, you were cut open, so you really didn't have the muscles to get up and move around and do things that you need to do. So I was in the hospital 4 or 5 days, I believe. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to wait for you to go number 2. So they wanted you to pass a stool before they would let you go home. So that's what they did back then. Like I said, that was how many years ago? It was 1997, 1998. So do the math, I guess. So over the years, I would have things such as I would have some gastric reflux every once in a while. A lot of times for me, when I would eat something that would kind of bother me, it would cause a lot of pressure, like in my chest where the band, just above the band. So what would happen is the food wouldn't go down. I would be in a lot of pain. And what I would do is I would actually throw up. Sometimes I would actually throw up the food. Most of the times, though, it would be bile that I would be throwing up. So like that sticky, just long, sticky, and just really gross. That was probably my main issue. And even so many years later, like I still have those issues. Like for the longest time, I could not eat steak. I can't eat, or I couldn't eat shredded beef, shredded chicken, spaghetti, noodles, those types of things that were long and stringy. I always had a difficult time with those, even after so many years of, having the VBG. So fast forward up to probably like a couple years ago, I was gaining weight. I think I'll tell you now. Okay, so my starting weight back then, the highest weight I had was 252. I had the VBG. After that, I ended up going down to about 175. And slowly, we kind of crept back up, just how many years later, you get more comfortable eating things, you learn how to eat, just like any bariatric patient does, even now. And once COVID hit, that was the end. It was just like I was home cooking, comfort food, soda, all those things. Gained it back. I mean, I had lost a little bit. I was doing some keto. I was doing good. Then once COVID hit, it was like game over. I mean, it just came back on just right away, and there was just uncontrollable, So this time around, so once I got to that point, this year, 2021, I said, you know what, this is the year that I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do things for me. And so I decided that I wanted to explore what my options would be to maybe get bypass. So I spoke with my primary, and I mean, they have record so many years of my weight loss, weight gain, everything. So spoke with my primary, and she was like, I'm more than happy to give you a referral. So got the referral, ended up going to, the doctor's name is Dr. James Swain, and he is with Honor Bariatrics in Scottsdale, Arizona. Great doctor, awesome, couldn't be happier. If you're in the area here, look him up. He's really good. Nice guy, very nice guy. So talked to him, expressed my concerns. Another issue that I also had was the gastric reflux, so I would have that on occasion. And so I told him, I'd have gastric reflux. I would, a lot of times I'd be, throwing up, having issues with the food and everything. So he said, the best thing would probably just to convert it over to a gastric bypass. I didn't do the gastric bypass in the beginning with the first surgery because back then, the way that they kind of determined was whether or not you were a big sweet eater. Did you eat a lot of sweets? Which back then I was not. I was more of a sweet eater now during the last couple of years. So I think pretty much my only option would be a bypass. He said I would benefit more from the bypass. So, but my main issue with the bypass the first time around was the sweets, which I didn't eat a lot. But back then I did not know whether or not the bypass was reversible. To me, that was a big concern. I just wanted to know that if something was to go wrong, I would want to have that option to just put everything the way it was before, and I just live my life and do whatever I have to do. So a few weeks before surgery, I actually found a TikTok of a lady that did have a reversal, and she was having some issues and all that, and she actually had it reversed. So once I saw that video, I was like, okay, I'm going to go through with this. I'm going to do it. So the steps before I had surgery, went to the doctor. He said the bypass would be the best. He wanted to do an endoscopy to see how things looked right now with what I had before with the VBG, and see like the band and see if there was anything there that he'd need to be concerned with. And Had to get obviously the approvals from my primary care to get the authorization for surgery. Before I did the endoscopy, though, I actually went for, I don't know what the name of the test is called, but you drink like that white, really thick fluid, and then they do like x-rays as you're drinking it because they want to see how it's going down. So I had to do that test first, and that one I went, it was the x-ray. The doctor did that. So once that got back to the doctor, then we scheduled the endoscopy. Went to the hospital for the endoscopy. He went in. He said everything looked okay, like he didn't see anything that might have been of concern. And then the step after that was to get the approval from the insurance, because the insurance wanted those 2 steps prior. Got the insurance to approve, and then had to get the pre-op exam and all blood work and everything done. So we did that as well. Then November 8th, a couple days before my surgery, the doctor just had me do I had surgery on a Monday afternoon. And so Saturday I had to do the soft foods. And then Sunday it was just clear liquids. Obviously nothing after midnight before surgery. And the doctor had said he wanted to schedule me for the last surgery of the day so he could have as much time as he needed for me, because, if there were any complications, or, some people have hiatal hernias. I guess a lot of people have those. Thankfully, I did not have one, and so that was a good thing. Day of surgery, went to the hospital, really nervous. I mean, my blood pressure was like 212 over something. It was like outrageous. I was so nervous. Like I can't even explain the stress before this surgery. So the doctor came and talked to me before surgery. He said, we're going to try and get this done laparoscopically. He said if there are any issues or something that he is not able to do, then he said he would have to cut me open again where my old scar was. Maybe I'll show you the scar in a minute or two. So, you do what you got to do. So, surgery, went into surgery. It was crazy. Like the anesthesiologist, like, I don't know, they rolled me into the surgery room, and then usually they chat with you a little bit before. Like I usually like to make a little joke, like kind of make everyone laugh or whatever. And I don't even know what happened. All of a sudden I was in recovery. So, hey, I guess that's fine with me. Did the surgery, got out, was in recovery for probably a couple, 2-3 hours, because my room was not ready. So we kind of had to wait for that. And of course, during that time, I'm getting nauseated. I always tend to get nauseated. I mean, they gave me a patch behind the ear. They gave me whatever medicine they give, but I was like just nauseated. So, I mean, I just know that's how I am. So whatever, So around, I think it was around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, they finally brought me to the room. Got nauseated again just from them pushing me in the hallways and all that. So, and I got that in the room around 10:30. The nurses came in, checking up on me, all that, wanted me to go to the bathroom. They want you to walk right away because of the gas. Personally, I hardly had any issues with the gas. And the reason for that is I think I had a little bit of a benefit, because I've already been through this type of surgery already. And even before with my VBG, a lot of times if I ate something and it would bother me, I always burp. I'm always burping. I mean, it helps. It helps me. So from the moment I woke up in recovery, I just started burping, and this nurse was like, "Oh, wow, you're like, wow." And I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "I can burp on command, like you just tell me to burp, I'll burp for you." So I think that helped me a lot because even when I got to the room, I was burping, burping, burping. Everyone was just like, "You gotta get up and walk and this and that." And I said, "Well, okay, I will. I just give me a little bit of time." I mean, so I got to the room, was able to, the first time the nurse kind of helped me go into the bathroom, so that was good. And then, maybe an hour later, I think it was around like 11, 12, midnight, I called them and I was like, "Okay, let's take a little walk," and so they helped me walk around with my IV, walking around the hallway. And it was fine, no issues, just taking it slow, whatever. And then got some rest. Next morning, woke up. They came in, took my IV out, and brought me the bottle of water. And were like, "Okay, start drinking sips of water." And, my ice chips they gave me the night of, like that night. And so the next day, I called, got some breakfast. I got some chicken broth, and they brought like the Jello and all that. The Jello was just like nasty because it was sugar free. But the soup was, I didn't like the chicken soup. In the afternoon, I had veggie soup, and the vegetable broth was just delicious. Oh my God, that thing was just so good. So I kept calling them, and I was like, "Can I get a large vegetable broth?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So they brought it up. I tried to eat the Jello, tried like the different flavors, just didn't taste good. So the next day after surgery, the doctor came in, probably around like noon or 1 or something like that. My mom came to visit me too for like an hour or so. And the doctor came in, and he had said that most of the times he sends patients home the next day after surgery. But I was going to ask him if I could stay another night, but I didn't have to ask him because when he came, he was like, "I think I'm just going to keep you one more night." And I was like, "That is just fine by me." So, once he left, I was doing okay. I was tired. I'd get up every couple hours. They wanted you to walk every couple hours. I'd get up, walk around every couple hours, do a little lap around the floor and come back and just kind of watch TV, just relax. And the other thing that they didn't want you to do, they didn't want you to be in bed. So from 6 a.m. till like 9 p.m., they wanted you to be in the little lazy boy chair. You could sleep there if you want. They just didn't want you in bed. But when I was rocking around, I see everyone else in bed. So whatever, do what they say. So that second night, much better. I was actually able to sleep a little bit on my side because I am a side sleeper. I don't do well on my back at all. So I was able to get some, like 3, 4, 5 hours sleep. It was good, felt good. And so I did that. Next morning, same thing, ordered my veggie broth, and, they were bringing me bottles of water whenever, I was done. I'd say, "Yeah, bring me some bottled water." They also gave me an ice pack after surgery. And also they had the those little massage things on your legs to kind of keep the blood flowing, so you didn't have any blood clots or any sort of issues at all. So then that next day, so what would that be? So day 1, day 2, doctor came around 11, and he was like, "I think you're ready to go home. You can start protein shakes and then the clear liquids for the next week." And yeah, that's what I did. My neighbor came, picked me up, and brought me home. Now after surgery, and when my neighbor brought me home, they had ordered prescription like medication for me to go pick up, and it was over at the grocery store. So they weren't ready when we left the hospital. So when my neighbor brought me home, I kind of like just laid down for a little bit, you know. And then I told my mom, I said, hey, you want to go get my medication? And she's like, sure. So I drove, and I got my medication. Like on day 2, drove. And it was fine. I went slow. I, wasn't like on freeways or anything. It was just like side streets, basically. So I did that, went and got my medication. Doctor gave me some Percocets, and the first night after being home, I think I took a half of one that first night that I was home. Just in case, just in case there was any pain or anything happened. I tried to sleep on a lazy boy, like in my mom's room, and then I got up, and then I came to my room, and I tried to like lay down for a little bit, and then went to the living room. I was kind of like all over the place that first night. Second night was a lot better. Let's see. By the third or fourth night, I was in my room sleeping. What I would do for sleep, since I'm a side sleeper, I had pillows on each side of me. So I would just kind of prop that like underneath my tummy, just to kind of hold it. And it worked fine, and it was good. So right now I am, today is day 15 post-op. Sorry, I'm like moving the camera around. I'm like sitting in bed. So sorry. So today is day 15, and I went to the doctor today. I started soft foods last week. So 1 week after our doctor had like a Zoom meeting with all the patients that were around 1 week out post-op. And so we were able to get the okay to start soft foods. And so that's what I have been doing for the last week, and I will be doing soft foods for the next, I think it's around 2 months post-op is when, we're doing the soft foods. So that's what I'm doing. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe doing a video of some of the things that I've been eating during the soft food period, just to kind of, maybe help some people out or whatever through this journey, because it is a journey. It's like really difficult. It's difficult to make that decision to do the surgery. It's not an easy decision, because you really want to try and do these things on your own. Like, you really try. And sometimes, you just think the surgery is the only thing that's going to make it more permanent. Because some people can do it on their own. Some people are able to. I was not. I enjoy food. I'm Greek. My mom is a great cook. And we enjoy our food. We enjoy like all kinds of stuff, salads. I mean, we have the Mediterranean diet, for God's sake, and I mean, that's supposed to help you lose weight, but you mix the American stuff too, and the fast food, and the, all the junk that we have, and it just, it's hard. It's hard. So it's a process. So the next 2 months is going to be soft foods, and then and then we'll see. So right now I'm doing shredded chicken, shredded turkey, hummus, avocado, like guacamole. I mean, you can have cooked vegetables. Today I actually did riced cauliflower with one of those packs of like the Indian sauce. I can't remember. Is it the curry? I can't remember. It's one of those curries. Maybe I'll show it to you in another video when I do like the different things that I'm eating. I did that with some riced cauliflower, so it kind of got that rice taste. The rice cauliflower went down okay. I didn't really have any issues, but when I first started eating it, it was a little crunchy, so I was a little worried about it, but it was fine. So that was good. And, so far I'm doing really well. Like, I really have No complaints, haven't had any pain. Oh, today when I went to the doctor, he was actually telling me, he told me it took like 3 hours for the surgery, and I asked him, I said, how was the band? And he said, well, actually, he goes, your band was like really tiny. I mean, he's saying like really tiny was the opening. So part of me is thinking, maybe this is why I was having all those other issues and I was throwing up the bile and all that. Like, maybe that opening was so small that that's what was causing me pain. Now, I've talked to a lady on Facebook who's in one of the bariatrics group, and she had the same thing with me, VBG, and she's in the process. Now, she told me that her band was actually corroded, or her band is corroded. It was, because it's still corroded. And so I asked the doctor, I go, was it corroded or anything? And he said, no. He goes, just the opening was really small. But he goes, now, your opening is back to normal, and it's just a basic bypass that you have. So part of me is thinking maybe it was good that I did this, because who knows in a few years what might have happened. That band could have gotten really small, where I wouldn't have even been able to eat anything or drink anything, and I would have maybe had to have some sort of emergency surgery. Like, nobody knows. So in a way, maybe I'm thankful that I did go through with it at the time that I did. So that is pretty much my journey so far. And I mean, let me know if there's some other people out there that are VBG patients and you have some questions and you're thinking about bypass or thinking about getting the VBG modified into something else, let me know. Just leave a comment. I'll try and answer your questions or whatever. Because like I said, I could not find any videos on actual people that had VBG and have had it modified to a bypass. So I'm just hoping maybe I can help somebody if, there's someone that has questions or anything. And then what I think I'll do is I will maybe post a couple videos as to things that I was doing like the first week with just liquids, what I was drinking, what I was consuming at that time. And then maybe I'll do another video with ideas for the soft food stage. Maybe quick videos just to show you guys like a couple things. And the other thing, what else do you need to know about the bypass, which you've probably seen on most videos that are out there? You do have to take your vitamins and D3, calcium citrate, I think it is. So I'm doing chewables right now. As for my multivitamin with the iron, in the morning I do a liquid, and in the evening I do a chewable. And I got the chewables just through the bariatric place, and honestly, I don't know if I'll buy them again. I like that liquid vitamin much better, especially right now. And especially the liquid vitamin, you can do it during the first week as well. And, it'll help you. So, yeah, that's it. That is my story, my journey, as people say. So, just let me know if you have any comments at all. Like, share, subscribe. I mean, everyone says that every video, and I hope you do. That'd be great. So that's my story. So I will upload some videos later, and I hope you guys all have a safe, happy, healthy, drama-free Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving, so we all got to be thankful. Thankful that we're here. COVID, we've, just thankful that we were surviving this so far. And I'm thankful for having the surgery, and I am so thankful that so far I have not had any issues, and no issues at all. So, and also I'll do another video like showing you my scars. I'll maybe do that on another video because this one's getting long. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and good luck on whatever journey you decide to take with the bariatrics and all that. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.